Oh, hi Christians. Here's a serious question for you. I'm not going to get, um, all competitive about, the whys and wherefores of your particular deity. Who are we talking about again? Oh yeah, the what's his name? Christians. Yeah, know that. Anyway, but here's a reliable fact. Look up your Bible because as a believer, um, every bit of research will show you've almost certainly never read the Bible. Oh yeah, you've probably been to church. You've had Bible thumping, mum and dad telling you how religion's great and everyone else is bad. Basically antagonistic racism, indoctrination, divisive stuff. It goes back to when we were, when we evolved and we were in probably family units of about 18, 19, 20 sort of people at a time. And life and death would depend on whether you stuck to your guns or stuck to your family unit. So it's understandable, and most atheists would understand and forgive you for that. We'd call it childishness. But anyway, never mind. Anyway, here's a serious point. New Testament Bible. New Testament Bible, pretty much about Jesus. That's I forget his fucking name. Jesus, right? But the thing is, this Jesus chap. Have you heard of a guy called Pontius Pilate? He didn't fly Boeings. Boeings are a type of aeroplane. I mean, not every aeroplane's a Boeing. I'm directing this at obviously people from the USofA. Heavier than air sort of craft. One or two other people have sort of made them and flown them, but hey ho, God shines on the fucking righteous, you cunts. So anyway, but the thing is, basically, if you read the New Testament, can you read? Well, I'll assume get a grown up, maybe a non-Christian. Because we know that Christians want to suppress education. Just look at the state education standards. Compare them to the rest of the world. America used to be pretty high about 40, 50 years ago. It's free fall. Education standards versus the rest of the world, baselines are in absolute free fall. And if you look at the southern and mid-western states, those traditional Christian states, they are below some second world and comparable to some third world countries now. Shocking, isn't it? Yeah, well, the Bible told you how to design an automotive engine. Hot dangly dang! Oh no, it didn't. Sorry, that was people working hard and using a few scientific principles of trial and error and seeking views from other people. But hey, never mind. I digress again. Read the New Testament. Pontius Pilate, Feast of Passover, and Jesus had been arrested in the Garden of was it Gethsemane or something like that? No, the Hill of Skulls, and it was custom. It wasn't historically, if you look at it, but in the fiction that's Lord of Harry Potter, the Bible. Basically, there's some sort of custom about releasing someone, and Pontius Pilate washed his hands and all that, and he said, "Right, okay, crowd, who shall we release? Shall we release this guy, Jesus, the carpenter's son, or shall we release Barabbas?" I think one of the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. You probably don't even know that because you're a Christian, thick as shit. And that's only four, because there probably were about 25 Gospels if you if you have access. Maybe one of the older Latin written Christian Bibles that go back about 500 years or so. Bodleian Library in Oxford's got one that's got about 24 different Gospels in it. But people obviously over the years realised that undermines the whole religion thing. So they've got down to the four that were the least contradictory, and even then they're pretty pathetic. Pathetic, pathetic. I spelt that out for you. Go and get a grown-up or a non-Christian to write that down for you and show you what the letters mean. C-U-N-T. So, basically the thing is that if you go to the Bible, New Testament, blah, 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 and Pontius Pilate, who should we release? And the crowd all shouted for Barabbas. And Barabbas was duly released, leaving Jesus to be crucified. Now, the interesting thing is, obviously because language studies are non-existent in America, pretty much. Barabbas in the Aramaic, which was the language of Jesus, language of Palestine at the time, 2,000 years ago, actually means son of the Father. As I say, I think one of the New Testament texts actually says, who shall release? Jesus of Nazareth, which wasn't actually a town during the time of 2,000 years ago of Jesus. It's a bit like in Britain, Milton Keynes. You know, it was a man-made town. So Nazareth didn't exist then anyway, but never mind. Ignore that, because that's obviously too much for your little teensy-weensy brains to realise and comprehend. Anyway, so we'll stick to what you can look up, because you've probably got a Bible somewhere. Unpeel the pages, because you've obviously got off on, a mention of, Mary or some sort of, sexual person. Or if you're a woman, it's full of them, men, male-dominated. So, clungy fingers and all that sort of shit. But basically the thing is, Barabbas was released, and I think one of the texts says Jesus Barabbas. So go back to the Aramaic, because obviously the Greeks translated it, and then by the time in about 325 AD, when they made up the Bible at Nicaea in Cyprus, Emperor Constantine, with the decline of the Roman Empire, this is why they don't teach history in America as well. Basically, it was all got a bit confused. People didn't understand the old translations, but this is fact. Aramaic, Greek. Jesus Barabbas means Jesus, son of the Father. So, if there was a Jesus, maybe. Maybe a bit of a troublemaker. That sort of gubbins. But basically, in front of Pontius Pilate, probably didn't happen, but there we go. But there's some sort of little tale of a chap that was a bit of a troublemaker that then went before the Romans and got released because the crowd said, release Jesus Barabbas. And Jesus Barabbas was duly released. That's in your Bible. Bible. It's not YMCA, it's not a pop song, it's your holy book. And as I say, Jesus Barabbas means Jesus, son of the Father. So the Bible actually tells you that your own crucified, I don't know whether he's your God or your Muppet or something. I've read the Bible, believe me, more than any fucking Christian ever has. And I still don't understand what it is. I've also read many, many holy texts, probably a lot more than you. No, I'd put money on it. £1,000 to your charity of your choice. I have read more different holy books, holy texts, than the average American. Well, I know that's a fact, so I've got nothing to lose. But hey-ho. I wipe my arse on your fucking Bible, or your Qu'ran, cunts. Rest my case, alright? Jesus Barabbas, released. Oh, sorry, I'll translate that into English. It's not a surname, it's Jesus, son of the Father. So, go to church, do whatever you fucking need to do. Please, the one question is, with religious extremism rife in the world, please promise me, Christian American, you will not continue to oppress humanity, suppress learning, ridicule education, and please do not put your fucking finger on that red button and blow the rest of the world up. Forget Iran, forget North Korea. North Korea's oil. It's the oil found off the coast of, in sort of shared waters, disputed waters between China and Japan. This is a sideshow. So China can muscle in and say, whoa, we've sorted it out. So on the world stage, they can probably get, I suspect, 87.5% of the oil reserves, and Japan will get 12.5%. North Korea's a sideshow, little puppet. Just don't be fooled by your, there's terrorists, whoa, because you know nothing. There are none so enslaved as those who believe they are free. America, the land of the free? Oh, we got rid of slavery. The world has, I think, about 10 times more slaves now than it had 200 years ago. You're an idiot. If you're a Christian and listen to this, you're an idiot. Jesus Barabbas, comment, give me some facts. Don't quote shit. Just fucking research it and give me some facts. God bless. Or failing that, shove a candle up your fucking arse, you cunts.